Hello, my people. How are you today? Emma, Emma, I'm live. I should put my ringtone back. I miss it. I think I was trying to figure out what ringtone I. Mwe, boba agule muruka notagisamu radio ngene mwange. Nogisako reverse. Of course, kati nebintu ebyange ebimu byagiramu. Because ene motoka gibayita super mu buractives. Ebera super ebintu ebisinga bijiramu. But if you have a car and you don't have those things in your car, because reverse is something that is really, let me just put AC to very cold since we're going to be moving. Yeah, that's where I want it. So how are you, my people? I hope you're doing well. Zenga Thandi steady. I'm very steady. You know, nakende muchibina kusoma, and my God, it's amazing the things you learn that you don't know when you go to class. Mosara one day kusoma as an adult, you'll be surprised how much you don't know. And for me, I'm no longer surprised that I know very little, because I literally go back to school every year. And I realize that what they manyi ate simanyi so this year I'm still going on to learn stuff. So but I hope your Sunday is doing well. Mine is fine. Today I just ran into something and I thought I should share. I'm going to show you sometime. I thought I should share with all of you guys because but I think some of you what happens. So remember how I've been telling you that you need to check your car every morning before you set off to work or wherever you want to go. Every morning, wake up, check your oil, check your water levels, check the brake fluid, check the battery, check to see that everything is in order. I find that it's important that I stress it after today. So for the first couple of days, I realized my water coolant levels were going down. And it's important to note that in the beginning, I knew there must be a leakage, but so not even actually 2 days, I think it's like a week, because in the Moroccan Nakajivuga, 6 weeks in Biri. I think I've driven this car for 2 weeks, straight from the bond, by the way. I've driven the car for 2 weeks, and so for like a number like 5 days, I think, minimum 5 days, I've been seeing a Masigaki ended up Katono. So when today morning I checked and I saw that the water had really reduced, and niradiator nkungulongezeko engeria rust. So it means there was water and it dried up. Okay? So I examined the car closely today morning and I realized what were joined. You know, there are joints, a radiator and water pipe, then there is a pipe that goes to the engine, then there is a pipe that goes to the AC system, because remember when you set the car to give you heat, the car then gets water from the radiator and then it gets heat from that water to give you. So I find that normally it brings the very hot water, and these the radiator system, when they make it, there are places where they put plastics. Okay, now that plastic joint, there is a plastic joint that joins water, comes from the radiator, part of the water goes to the engine, and part of the water goes to the AC system. Okay, so I realized today that the joint that divide the water, when the water comes from the radiator, let me just make you look at me so that you understand what I'm talking about. Because this is something I really need to explain to you for you to understand. Now, the reason why I'm explaining this is because I've realized pre-purchase inspection. When I do pre-purchase inspection for you, if something like this happens to you, you might call Nogamba Arthur to work on the inspection in Burunji to Aguze Moroke. Now, these are some things that happen because you remember, you guys, I told you that a Moroccan singers a Tugura zina more than 150,000 kilometers, whatever quarter mileage. Mileage. So this is the thing I can say. When you look at it, it's a joint, it's a T, bakaitaka T joint. Let me see which goes where. Now, the small pipe, this small pipe comes from the radiator, and these two sides. Kabeda Wekat. So, the small pipe comes from the radiator here. Kabeda Wekati. Then this side goes to the engine, and then this side goes to the AC system. Okay, now if you don't want the heat and you have not switched on the heat, it closes, so the water gabaga koma somewhere there, and gakomo negadam engine, negatwa negadam radiator like that, and then it keeps coming here, going through, coming here, going through like that. So now this is plastic. I don't really think it's plastic. It seems like it's a certain kind of mineral, because the plastic is the one that is on top, but this looks like it's something that is a little bit more organic. It's not really plastic. So these things, they grow, they get old. And for me, I think because I check I'm addicted to waking up in the morning, and before I do anything, because normally when I wake up in the morning, I wake up Mama Aban, she goes starts preparing the kids. Me, the first thing I do is go to my car, and when I go to my car, I check it. And part of the things, of course, I try to dry it, because my car doesn't sleep inside the garage. So away from that, so then I check water, I check oil, I check the washer fluid, then I check the brake fluid and all that. And mukebera amazirero, I've been seeing amazigakenda. That's when I realized this thing was almost broken. It hadn't yet broken, so when I saw it, I said, okay, I'll see that when I get to town. So I drove to class. When I got out of class, I thought, okay, when I'm parking, I said, no, let me go to my office, because my office is in watch sector. So I drove up to my office in the parking lot, and then as I was calling the mechanic to tell him what had happened, I was touching the thing, I think akamu kabadde kakutusedda. Okay, then akakutuka. No, I think one broke when I touched it in the beginning. Then when examining, all of the others broke off. So these pieces that you see, I got them out of the pipes. Piece can cover them pipe from radiator, can cover them pipe again mo engine, then can cover them pipe again mo AC system. So what did I do? Of course, my mechanic advised me. Katinza mechanic munanga abangi bayinenge je bankwatamu Italy ya bulijjo. We have sort of like built a relationship where they are honest. So mugambi obampita omuntu ajja ko era ngamba no athanayi katosobola kyekolera kajeko gende wakiseka ofuna akantu akafaanana bwe katyo. So I went to Chiseka, I bought, and normally when that thing breaks, mwabayine moroka, especially you guys that have bought these cars from the bond, mwabavuge moroka ezibadeko ku luguudo kati bakoledde. And that thing doesn't necessarily break because the car is in bad condition. Hell no. It breaks because it has gotten to a time when it breaks. Cheche nabagamba gwogenda n'ogule moroka n'ogenda mu bond n'oyagala ogule moroka olwokuba bakugamba eri ku mileage ntono. Naye nga ate there are chances emoroka ezisinga mu bondi bazikwata, the mileage is tampered with. Ekyo njagala bagambe. So kati gojja gule moroka olowooza oguze moroka erina kilomita emitwalo 3. Kumbe emoroka bagyeta ina kilomita emitwalo 17. Ne bagisala ne bagizza ku mitwalo emeka, ku mitwalo 3. So for me, I already know that. That's why those small things keep breaking. And car manufacturers want to get away from the liability. That's why they give you a warranty of 100,000 kilometers. Okay, so because after 100,000 kilometers the car will start breaking down. Now this is not what we call breaking down, because it's enchirabye mangu. Now there are those people that ye kumachaka stage moroka ne kuba self ne tandika yorwala olwabamaze ngavuga ngagenda. I'm not that kind of person, and that's how I was able to see this trouble before it became trouble. So what I did, ngenze nengula taka kantu bakakutuko inagula ka chuma era makanika wo mugamba nagula ka pipe ako ka link ako ka bakaitaka T, the T joint agule ya chuma ajizeo. So what I did, I got the T joint, I got silicone, and I replaced it. It wasn't easy. When I talk about it like that, you'll think it's easy. I had to remove the battery, I had to struggle, I had to go up in my office to get a bigger plier, but in the plier akatono neneta plier jibaita magalo enene, because the clamps are really hard to press. I even got help from one of the guys that was in the parking lot. So and just like that, I put it there. Then I left it to dry for like 10-20 minutes, And then I drove off to a petrol station. I had them remove all the water and coolant in that radiator, and then I put 2 liters of coolant, and then I put, the balance was water. So that's how I'm back on the road today. And that doesn't mean the car is bad, because that can happen to any car, even new cars it can happen. Ka horsepower kana kati eganje kan tikasika chuma ka omuliro kukaitamu, and that's basically the reason why BMWs overheat. The BMW guys, I don't know what they did. They make BMWs, they give BMWs a lot of plastics in the cooling system, and plastic and water, it's not really plastic, it's some kind of material. I don't know what it is. Fetumwita plastic, but that's the easiest way to get out of it, by calling it plastic. Tubenga tuchinemi zenga tuvudeo. But I don't really think those things are plastic. There's something that is close to plastic, and those things, that material, I think it's just cheaper for them to do it that way. Which it's just cheaper, easier, because with plastics, that kind of material you just have to put in a mold and shape. So it will take a lot more than that. So I think it's just easier for them to do those materials, and also that's easier to put in a horse and all that. So for the guys that are driving cars that are still new from the bond, that's probably something you should look out for. Check your water levels on the regular. If it's not every day, at least every 2 or 3 days, check your water levels. Then look for a leakage. And as we radiator, it doesn't mean that the car is overheating. Look for a leakage. Look for a leakage. Nebo aberanga hydraulic oil yakendera mu moroka. Look for a leakage. Everything that reduces in your car, before you start drawing conclusions that the car enywa ekorabichi wechamuka, because you may go to an idiotic mechanic na ataniko kugamba nti moroka yo enywa amazi oba yayocha gasket and all that. And that's the one thing that I find, that having a mechanic that is cautious about the decisions they are making, that is very calculative, not to make you a loss, you'll be very fortunate. Now I've seen a lot of guys that we bought cars with, but tukule moroka, I think along the way again nalabanga oba makanika wanga amuseera oba nalabanga my mechanic takes too long to do stuff, and then nagamba bana kangendeke wada agendeyo ne bamunyangalaza ne batandika okutondawo ebirwadde biseera ebisinga ebirwadde ebyo, by the way, tebibaawo. Okitegere ebirwadde tebibaawo, but these mechanics are bamakanika abamba papa. Okitegera he panics, amanyi bw'anaalwawo ogenda kumuggyako omulimu ogutwali walala. Ate olumu aba ayagala akole mangu asobole okukola ki, okubaza ssente. Okitegeera. So that's why I don't work with just anyone. That's why I choose the people I work with. Now, the method that most mechanics use is not a very bad method. As a matter of fact, that method will stay, and it will work for you for a considerably good amount of time. It will work. But when it stops, that's the day you will know that, okay, this method wasn't really sustainable. I've been in class today and we were studying about sustainable marketing, sustainable methods of doing business, and you'll be surprised there are even businesses that are there to simply hold businesses accountable. That, okay, are you doing things that are friendly to the environment and all that? And if you're doing something that is not friendly to the environment, then they hold you accountable. So, but anyway, so I want to talk about the things that you should look out for every morning before you, and how exactly you should do it. Today I realized that some of you guys, temumanyina kebera oil. We can store kebera, ngogenda otopinga. Okebera katono, ngogenda otopinga. Abantu abamu papa. But now, me, I think as I grow up, I learn to be a little bit patient with stuff, because okupapa wanting to do things faster is not sometimes is not a solution. Sometimes be patient with stuff, and also sometimes you remember yesterday I was saying that if you're going through stuff, sometimes talk about it with other people. Because kyolabanga ekinene ennyo kyoyitamu kati omuntu omulala yakiyita mudda, and tebijamulya because yakiyitamu. Okitegeera. So I think I've been to that level where I've been through stuff, and especially to do with cars, and erudda tebikyandya bannange ng'ajagala amatooke katulakuba amatooke gondi wadde sibimanyi no naye ndabanga amato si makulu kangaleke kagula amenvu ge bantumye janagula wana amatooke sanyina nga ne maama abani aguza amatooke kugamba mbe nga ate ebyonoonye gondi kangula amenvu ge bantumye. Yeah, so guys, today I want to be talking about the things you should be doing is wait. Amenvu agubameka. Amenvu nawa gebbiri. Nimbawo na gesatu na ge kumata. Leta gebbiri amirundi ebiri ndabe. Amalungi. Well, you guys, I want you to say amenvu gebbiri wane wafi. Nabe lwachi sometimes move. Gano gabbiri? Yeah. Ne gano gabbiri. Gwe abantu waliwo wobba. Laba gano gabbiri. Kati kankulaga alaganda ganti gabbiri. Wala gano gabbiri. Mbuno mbune gano gabbiri. Gazze ereta agenkana bwe gati. Gano ga kibbi gano. Mwe. Kansoke mbabuze nako nga bwensoma ko. Gonza Anthony, how are you? King Daniels, Sanji Phone Solutions. Yamzajja gwenno. Togenda kuntetenkanya. Gano si kale ko gano. Gano kale ko. Watermelon bwo bameka. Watermelon za satu. Nenga sinene bulungi. Bete singa wo bunene tulabe. Mugalasi Joshua Mixed Farm. Ya mutandiso. Negwe eno watermelon eno. Mwe eno watermelon sounding abwete banungi. Gwengeri kaona akatuli. Eno esinga obunene. Tewali egisinga. Tewali. Kati zemmeka wano toto. Keka sangu. Joshua, Derek Lule, Clark Rhyme, Bridget Kakai, WMV Technologies, Query Akim, Balvids, Chisama, Shadrach, Habat, Salmin. Salmini! Wadobuze! Eddie Mutevi, Jojo, Zeru Joji William, Mutumba Pade, Kawesa Victor, Agaba Francis M, Kalunji Stephen. This question, I want Primo 2008, but with the money, I can get a new fielder. Should I get a new fielder or a used Primo? It depends on what you want. I've been telling you guys, new is new. But if you really want a Primo 2008, who is stopping you? Go get yourself a Primo 2008. We recently bought a Primo 2008. Twajigula senda nika. Nasi jukila tende twajigula. Primo jitwaka gula 2008. Yaliku UB what? Was it a UBH? I think it was a UBH. How much did we buy that Primo? You go check in the community tabs, you will see. There is a Primo we recently bought with one of my followers here. Twajigula million abidi mumo kaga na H2. So I don't think you can get a new fielder to 26.5. So if you have about 26, 27 million, still you can't get a new Primo in the world. New fielder. New fielder, I think, wenalabi watunde moroke nunji. Batunda million oba asatu. I am not sure. Because we have not really, the last fielder we bought twajigule million asatu money. Naye ate kati eze miliyoni eza wansi zigeze zigwayo. Ziweddeyo. Omanyi kati n'abatunde moroka nabo bali mu class. Bweyagala ogule moroka yala. Yeah, I'm going to park here, finish this broadcast, and then because one way to send network is going to keep going on and off. So I plan to do this broad for only 40 minutes, and then I thought that 40 minutes should be enough. I went to school in the morning, then I've come briefly even in the gym because of time, and yeah. So now I have to head home and wash the car and then get ready for tomorrow, which is going to be a very busy day for me. So let's just do this broadcast quite fast, and then we call it a day. Amin Pepera, hi. Antonio, good evening. Abby, good evening. Paul Katunze Muyomba, good morning. Joshua Gamba, even will not need to check every morning. Yes, will not. Kakati nzendo gundi bachita bata. Bate kako will caps ni basiba kono obusumali. Mr. Arthur, you're right, because one day I check my engine oil, the car never saw oil. on the dipstick and I tried 2 times, then I saw oil. Exactly. So sometimes you can check oil nolowooza taliimu naye nga mwali n'ogenda n'oyongerawo oil n'oyonoona okitegeera. Kati kino watuyimirire tutya anko nafunye akasimu mbadde ku mapeesa nagamba akasimu bakanyakula naye kulikayo kasawa komyewo. I'm fine, Martin M. Michael, Augustine Blues. The topic was supposed to be in the morning. Kati musurenga mukitegede so that network mujiraba byekola. I've even packed in a so hi network tomorrow the truth podcast tujaji koranga tuli ku network ya MTN. Yes, I'm going to try and see if I can switch to MTN today so that tomorrow morning we have a more. I'm on a more stable place. Tomorrow, hopefully, we are shifting to MTN. That's not how this is gonna go down, so don't waste, don't take for granted. Let's use what we've been handed, even if we don't understand it. Like the secret, like the secret, like I'm going to find a place here and see if the network is a little more stable. I'm trying to conclude the broadcast. I wanted it to be very short today. Network enyiza kituufu. So anyway, when you wake up in the morning, I found that olunaku lumu in the morning mumanyize bwenkeera. So those days I think naisi natandika kola broadcast nali nakajja ne matuga. It was really hard work, and those days nalinga sinalima na kikomera nga around my house waliwo kiwempe nali nateekawo kiwempe, and so I wake up in the morning to papa to obudde bugenze and I just drive. Na serve guy the meter kikume from my house. You know, paka. Nebuza kikyekyo and I packed. Ompira nga gwasuze gutudde. Saagukebera. So I struggled to jack up the car. Ekyanyamba naina spare tire, which you guys should always make sure is inflated, especially when you're home. When you're home, always have your spare tire. Never want to tambulira mupira ogo. And there are some old cars like nga Corolla yange. Techa ina bulibu spare tire obutono. Spare tire ya Corolla gwe guno mpira gwa bulijjo munene, that's very heavy. So kati nze nali nagujja mu moroka nga nagukasuka n'ebweru. Era omwana avuga ube naku zero tayina ye spare tire. I know it's something that looks like a spare tire, but I don't think it even works. But nakamugulira emipira emipya. So he doesn't really need a spare tire if he's one careful lad. So from that time, when I wake up in the morning, I go after brushing, showering, I go and look, I walk around my car, just looking at the tires to make sure that each tire is inflated properly, which tegera, and that it can get me at least to the final destination. Now these days, nabaraga neka inflation, neka kit kenyina kaka inflating. So just to find that in the morning, if I'm out of pressure, I just inflate it. Like there is a time when I supermarket ngatu mugula snacks zaba urban in the morning. Umpira nendo kulanga gutudde. Banko nkona nabukonkonyi. Pira gutudde to supermarket. So I got out of my car, ninzija akantu kange, and I pumped the car just like that. Omuka ne guddam. And I was able to get my car to a petrol station in the evening. Nebakola ki. never go so, and since then my car has never run out of pressure. So but you have to look at all the tires to make sure that they are abadi in neighborhoods where, for example, you're in an apartment building and so many people park in that place. You have a lot of kids there that can come and take the pressure out of your car. You need to check the tires literally daily. Why? Nze kati muchikomere change ni munze car, and my kids don't tamper with things that are not theirs. Ila ubasanga mudiro nga toys zijjude diro lyabwe. Ubasanga mudiro nga toys zijjudawo. They have things to play with, so they don't play with things that are not theirs. If they have to play with anything, the thing they touch that is not just theirs is the remote. They are allowed to change however they want, but they cannot play with anything else. So I don't expect mine to come and I run out of tire pressure. That's literally very impossible. So you check the tires, make sure they are okay. Go around the car to make sure let me tell you, of course now with these newer cars it's impossible to kind of like break this glass in here. It's hard with these newer cars. It's hard for them to break a glass. But I remember there is a time campus. I wake up, it's like me, it's like the guy is in my spirit. So I'm sleeping and I know something is not right. So I wake up and I get out of the house. So I get out of the house, the muzigo. I've come to check. I knew something was not right with the car. So I look at the car. Something is not right. Guy nadduka. Guy yayasaka kalabirwamu. One of these glasses akayimabega naggulawo olugi nayingira nasumula radio. He had a lot of time noza when agenda okufukanga bwe yetegeka okudduka bwenakoma wapulira nyingira nayitamu nadduka. So then that was one time. The second time nganzize ye wange nayina muzigo gwange wajjajja parkinze nazukuka babyemu nga nyina omuzo oguleka ebintu mu motoka nazukuka babyemu mwali mu gita and a bunch of other things. Gaire yasakalabirwamu n'abibba. So I have it as a habit of waking up in the morning. Bakati abababi tebali kombo oba anonye ekyo oba anonye ki, you just break the window and bojja n'ovuga nga totegedde kiki batutte kiki. So I come and do my rounds, and that's why it's important for you guys to have an alarm in your car. At least when you have an alarm in your car, alarm ekanga ababbi ekitumi ate bakutera alarm mu motoka bagiteeke ku ngombe. Bagiteeke ku ngombe so that when someone tampers the car like this bwakwatako bwati ekuba kerere. So make your rounds, make sure that everything is in order. Then go open the hood. Yeah, open the hood of your car and check. If you said I have a habit of actually looking under the car once you are engine to see if I have a leakage, because some of those leakages will make a mark down there. They'll show you that one oil abadda atonya oba hydraulic atonyawo oba coolant atonyawo, so you look under there. Now, why I was not able to see that under my car one coolant wabadda atonya, it's because the coolant abadda asinga kutonyanga emotoka ebugumye, because it's hot na ita with the pressure, because the pressure is okitegeera nene smoke. So kati nze when nalabira nti mu radiator nga bwe ntopinga wamazi, I no longer see the coolant color, because coolant is either red or green or blue. I don't know what other colors it is. So today I put green coolant because there was red coolant. Why? Because if it was red coolant, so it takes away the dripping or red. So if it still has that leakage, it will be green. Now I will know that okay, it's still leaking, but I doubt. Pipe jenta demu nzenje etere deko nzenje esibide, so I know it's leak proof. So you want to make sure that there are no leakages under there. Then you get the dipstick, the oil dipstick in a cold and a hot. Which take hot and cold. Now when it's hot, coolant abere no once. When it's cold, abere no waguru katia kasembayo. Now when you get the dipstick the first time, simula ko zamu simula era jamu simula ko zamu go kubid and see the levels, just to make sure that there is enough oil. I remember around 2017 nali mvuga dudu yankubako engine. It so happened that akataraka oil ku dashboard ka blinking anga. Neko naba boda bana bayine geje baduka pichi nentya namu. Oba nange bonna jidduka nga bwentyo. I'm scared of boda. You see, the day the banobagayo batomera bootu yange tuba tuzaako bootu emmoroka y'abaana bagayi twagiparkinga Kawanda tuli bwayise batekako bootu gaya ngamba mbulinye boda mugende mutuletere emmoroka yaffe nembagamba nze nga sirinnya boda nze gwe mugamba okulinnya boda gwani atalinnya boda weyita kigwa atalinnya boda buno omoroka bwakabala nga nze siri oba nakabula oba nabulabye eggulu oba disirinnya boda. You can't get me to take a boda from bwayise to Kawanda. Okitegeera ogenda okununa kinuwe eky'emiliyoni 5 because mwe bagayi senga mwalaba ku kinuwe ekyantomera mwali nyize n'okunyiga lwe moroka ezimu nga traffic bazikwata balina gikonda eminga ne bagikasuka eri. The other nuwa was horrible, in a horrible state. Kati ng'ongamba nze ngende makutuleko okugulu nga ngenda okununa kinuwe eky'emiliyoni 5. Okitegeera eventually they came down ne bavuga bagenda ne makanika wange mu wishi yaabwe ne bagenda ne babawe moroka yaabwe era ne bamukomyawo because ne makanika nkati bo makanika nga asobola okubeera at time nga ne moroka nga nnya. Okitegeera so tewali nsonga lwaki abaali nnya boda. So eventually bamutwala ne bamane bamukomyawo nze baali baganye mbogenda katukole moroka y'omale ogende mbagando mujja gifuna enche mmotoka kuba we na parking ze moroka ampadde dakiika 3-5 nayo moroka ajja tuwanche but no problem, tomorrow I'm there. Okisigire mu mukole moroka yange then ne bagonda ne batwala makanika n'abafunire moroka yabwe ne bagenda. But all in all that no was in bad condition. It would not have been in bad condition, but it's because there is no routine maintenance. But eri moroko kumanya ali mu mberambi ngenziji ziri sliding ate zigula kati ngomuntu agende mabega inaita muruno oluji ayitewo atagende eri mabega. Okisegira ngemboroka tesiba nuwanda yantomera okisegira kintu kisingo kola ku moroka eri gwe muliro nga gwo gukola oguwulira niyo muntu yakole moroka za kagere tuzita za kagere siza gumuliro gwa keboy omuliro guba gugonda naye ate moroka zino era zina amaanyi. Good evening to Sime Eddie mbasibula nno dakika ziri 35 buza yezo nagani dakika no lwaliro. So check the engine mwabaine moroka za automatic you should literally be checking your gearbox hydraulic oil regularly. Na ye gearbox oil aba better no checking ang moroka ogikolezeza nga atambudde muko. So you get still ina dipstick ya gearbox butiera cold na hot. So if it's cold nga toyagade jikebera nga moroka ejize you leave it no kebera the cool level. If it's not at the cool level ngeri wansi wa cool level it means then there is something totally wrong. Then there is this thing that I want you guys to get used to. Mbade ne guy wali wenkolida akantu kange avuga field ya jija mbona I think over 6 months ago and he was telling me yaje moroka mboni na ajivuga omwezi nga tanajikola service. You people, that's very idiotic. You have invested 30 million in a car and you don't want to do service owemitwali 12 on that day. This is something I tell people. Nzorumba follow bange mbaka kabukasi ne baga makanika agende nawe mukole service nga araba because ojatwale moroke kubeko engine otanukugamba baronze bubi nenga ate oil because remember oil abera mu moroke ezo baba bajivuga bakolera service Mombasa ne bajivuga paka Kampala ne batadda mukola service moroke rumne parking mu bondi omu weeks 3 omwezi gumwe 2 nge moroke eri omu oil akaddiwa olumu yekwata baba akozesa oil mu bibibi nga naye ali awo. So it's important that the moment you get out of the bond go and do service. Nze bisere bisinga abantu betugula na bemoroka butujitwala ku office yango giramba gikola biki there and then the mechanic will do the service tukebere ku buli kimu to making sure until the moment you walk drive away from there you are good to go. Okitegeera hydraulic which valve because if it has no dipstick it's a CVT gearbox. Don't tamper with the gearbox. You drive until the gearbox dies. Mbabulira, if you're driving a CVT gearbox car, drive until the CVT dies. Because CVT is supposed to be lifetime. Lifetime means these guys, when they were creating the gearbox, they created it so that it runs until their warranty runs out. After their warranty, gearbox way for $4. They don't expect you to drive their car beyond 100,000 kilometers. They don't expect you to drive their car beyond 100,000 because if you drive your car beyond their car beyond 100,000 kilometers, so if you have a CVT gearbox car, drive as long as it has no leakage. Drive. Webu gearbox werifa gura gearbox ndaza million yemu chitundu 2. Okitegeera. Just buy another gearbox. I don't know if I make sense. Okitegeera. So those chonchimazi. The CVT guy is not dipstick. Don't worry. Now, the radiator should be full to the brim. Then there is this reserve tank amazi that should be akagambo full wekali. That's where the water or coolant levels should be. Now, normally if you want to do the coolant bit yourself, open the radiator and there is like a thing, a cover, like a what should I call it? A knob you can open and the water goes out. All the water goes out, and then you close it again, put coolant, then put the reserve tank, you should put coolant only, and then you put the rest of the coolant in the radiator and then top up with water. Which again, I find that looking at the conditions that we are driving in, if you can have coolant in your car, now the reason we have coolant is coolant helps the parts of the engine to not rust. It helps to keep it a little bit more cooler than just water. Why coolant there is a cooling sensation. It's chemical, basically chemical made to keep your engine in good shape. But also they tell you not to feed up with simply coolant. Take a more coolant, part water to keep it safe. Then check the thingy, brake fluid. When you look at the brake fluid in it's not at the full level. Go and look at the rear tires. Drum. Make sure there is no wet spot kurimuzo. Make sure there is no wet spot, because if there is a wet spot, then that means the brake fluid is akapira koku cylinder eyokumupira guli kabise. Now, then you have to drive very carefully. So that, because the brake fluid literally should not be getting over. It shouldn't, because it has nowhere to go. It simply, brake fluid keeps moving within the system, which take it. The brake cylinder we fuka black ngomanya cylinder ekoye. It has nothing to make it dirty. Like brake fluid simply be moving moves back and forth, but it has nothing to make it old. It has nowhere to go. It keeps in there. So when the brake fluid is reducing, because my Corolla used to do that to me. And sometimes why that happens, brakes zikendera, notas tekamu, umbiri begukendera. Nebanga the drum goes further. Kata umbiri begugwera koddala. Oba drum eyo bajiria. Netukange egaziye bweti kati nga brakes zina tambula nnyo olumbe zitambula nnyo nezisesetuka kasidinda ne kavaayo brake fluid nayiika. That's why it's important. Era bwogendange wa makanika nagamba drums zino tuzikyuse, you better listen to them, because one time ojja kujiranga tomanyi. Some of you guys are not as cautious as us. Nze moroka yange webate nasiba nsoka kuchiwulira mu musaayi. There are things that happen to my car. Nze ro omuntu ayinza okunkubira nga moroka enchamuse kunenge moroka kuchamuka ketya. Like there are things that for me I feed in my system. I don't know why that happened like that. I think I just love cars too much, to the extent that cars have come to they resonate with me. Like we are in spirits of in sync. Like you can imagine this car thing can a leakage. How did I even, like there are so many people again Bamuga, why amazigaika? That's when they know that their car is not doing perfect. Obe moroke mara kuchamuka. Then atula katandiko kublaming amubondi je nagule moroka ate bichi nenga ataka antu ako. Because when you look at this thing, it's not even supposed to be in a cooling system of a car. Nekatiba na abantu, I think they do it intentionally. Musobolo okukyusa parts zineze moroka oba musoro gule moroka endala enkadde muziguza abantu abalala. Kana akantu, when you look at it, this is not metal. This is some sort of material. The metal that I bought, it's there's no way I was could shoot videos, but I thought I should share this. When you look at whatever akuma kenta deyo, amazimagari nti moroka yotosobola kuddamu kutta wantu awo. Era mwekati abagule moroka ebisere munge moroka ogiguze nge maze weeks nga bidi ebweru w'ekibanda, imaze week emu abweru w'ekibanda omwezi gumu. Eze moroka ebisere ebimu ziba nnungi za kugula. Naddala nga gw'ogigulako okola ki? Omumanyi. Why? Because like, there are things like this that are done for you. Nenga atolumo jagenda ogule moroka ogijje mu bond, kino kikutuukeko nga tomanyi. Oli mu kuvuga ogenda eyo mbaale. akantu kagire ononye wo kajja because kati nze office yange eri kumpi ne wachise I could go. I bought it very cheaply. Neyo jagenda kakutukire ngo oli eyo mu mabira otandika okuyaga tosuze ku kubo nolowoza because this is not one end because engeba de one end waligenze ku like a hardware no gulaka pipe no kateka this is three end. It needs someone to actually weld that thing. Ira we wali boba welding. But anyway, those are the things you need to check. Then I've told you time and again, if you start your car, akataraka oil, let me just show you. Emoroke ino butala mubulaba eina akataraka oil kako kana kataraka engine check kana kataraka handbrake kana kataraka battery. Let me just do that again. Then karika airbag, then karika steering rack. I think now I'm going to start the engine. When you start the engine, olaba akataraka oil speed je kakozesa okuzikira. Olaba aka airbag kalka kavao na akataraka oil kazikiriddewo. That's how it's supposed to be. Sengo tandike moroka yo. Akataraka oil ne katazikira. Oba ne kazikira late. Like the oil light, if your oil pump is working, the oil light should go off in 1 second. If it takes even 5 seconds, your oil pump is starting to either die or you don't have oil. So if the oil lamp doesn't go off, don't drive that car. If the oil lamp even is blinking like this, don't drive the car. Go and check the oil levels. Ntegerekese awe nkomyo lunako lwado kansoma amanyamba sibule King Daniels fair price of steering rack of super custom. I have no idea. I have to ask Mgalasi Joshua water tap. How do you check hydraulic wishe najimaze kale kansome kumanyamba sibule banange Gonza Anthony Sanji Phone Solutions, King Daniels, Mgalasi Joshua, Derek Lule, Clark Rhyme, Bridget Kakai, WAMV Technology, Kwiri Akim, Alvids, Kisama Shadrack, Harbat, Salmina, kulika yo nayo namani, kulika yo, mukama ye bale kuko myao, Eddie Mutebi, Aloyo Joan, Serunjoji William, Mutumba Pade, Kawesi Victor, Agaba Francis M, Karunje Stephen, Hamim Pepera, Antonio Abebu Kenya, Paul Katunzi Muyomba, yes, Mugerwa Wilba, Martin M. Michael, Augustine Blues, Agame mbu topic wetu kidewe wakati mugene mukebere moroka za mwemate mbade temunazikebera Matembe Abdul Nasa, Tusime Eddie, Wafula Patrick Reynolds, King Daniels, Isaac Luirika, and Sibamazeyo, Clip Films, Eddie Tunes, yes, Louis, Amina. Mwe nzemba sibu do nako lwaliro. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Kambaleke kubara mgende nga bwe mulaba nende twakabwe tujjako mukama bwana abayagadde. Abamu twaddira ddala mu kyalo ekibuga kyakaana. Rastas Mirana hata wetogera neighbor wange sawa zino ali kukanika gofu mu compound. Ezo gofu bajazirya. Gendo obeerewo munyumye omanyi ate kano n'okola ki hata bakuwadde namba Joshua tebannampa muteekewo ka pressure. People power, our power. Baby girl, you will rock with me. It's what I feel inside when you're by my side. When you kiss me, when you touch me, the way you love me.